Hi there, in this section we will implement how to add bids and how to close the bidding in our application. We will write the methods in the controller for both of these functionalities, and we will also gonna need to create a bids service. So let me just firstly go to our details page to see where we have added the form to add the bidding. And let me just find it. So here we have this form where the user can input a bid, but this AddBid method we haven't written anywhere yet, so we need to implement that in our listings controller. So I'm just writing it right here somewhere. So this will be an HTTP post method. So as usual, public async, it will be an asynchronous await method. Public async task. It returns an action result. And I'm naming it, we'll name it AddBid. And what we'll write here inside, we will bind here what we will take from our form. So we'll write here the ID that we'll take from the form, the price of the bid, the listings ID, and the identity user ID. And in the we here need to specify also that we are taking a bid object from the form. So firstly we need to check if the model state is valid, and if that is the case, here we'll basically store that bid in our database. But to do that, we will actually need to create a service to get the bids. So a service like service bids.add, and then we'll add the bid. But now we need to actually create this service because it doesn't exist. And let me just go to this services folder here, and firstly add a new item to add an BidsService interface. Press enter, and here we need to write the method signature. This will be an asynchronous await method. It doesn't return anything, the name is add, and it takes a bid in the parameters. Now we need to go to the services folder and add the bids service. So like new class, bids service. And this will implement the BidsService interface. Here we'll implement the interface there, and we'll need to access the context, which I'm copying it from the listings service. So just this constructor and this variable where we store the context. I'm just gonna need to rename the constructor here. So this way we just take a variable with the context, and this here in our add method we just need to write underline context.bids.add, and we will add the bid to our context, and we just need here to write await, and then to save the changes to our database with this save changes async method. So this method doesn't return anything, so it's good now. And in our listings controller we need to have a variable here for the bids service, just like that, a private read-only bids service, and I'll give a name to the variable, just like I've done there above, bids service. And we also are going to need to write this service in the constructor as well, there and here. So now we have access to the service that we created in the controller. Let me just go to the program.cs here and add the service that we just created. We'll add it as a scoped service, and here we specify the name of the interface. We always need to do this each time we create a service, to go to program.cs. And now back to the AddBid method in our controller. Here the name of our service, actually we made it to be BidsService. And now here we are gonna need to take the listing, and here now we are gonna need to have a variable where we will store the listing where the bid was made. So underline listing service that get by ID bid that listing ID. So we just need the listing where this bidding was made. So now we can take the listing.price and set it to the bid.price, so to the new bid that was made to that listing. That's why we needed the listing variable. And we need to save these changes to the database. And we actually needed to do this by this context.save changes async. But since we manipulate data in the context, we just need to create another method there, just like a save changes method. It doesn't take anything, it doesn't return anything. Let me implement this in the iListings, in the listing service. I'm just making it async. And here we just need to write await, save, underline context, that save changes async. So now we can use this method in the controller so that the change of the price of the listing will be changed in the database as well. So here we just write await listing service that save changes. And now we can just return view. We can return the user to the details page, and we can input here the listing. So it takes the details page will be for that listing. The details method takes a listing. So yeah, we need a listing object there when we return the view. And that was it for the AddBid method. We now can also write the CloseBidding method. So public async task returns action result. The name of it, will let it as it was, CloseBidding. And it takes an int ID parameter. If we go to the details page, let me see where we have it here. So yeah, we have an anchor tag here to be able to close the bidding, which can only be done by the person who posted the listing. And here we need to take the listing where that has the ID that we take here in the parameter, and we will set that listings, so the isSold property of that listing we are going to need to set to true. So that means that the listing is sold. Now we can just use this save changes method to save the changes to the database, and we can return the users to the details page of that listing. Okay, so let me just refresh it here. Okay, there seems to be an error. Okay, I was having an error because here when I declared this service in the program.cs, I declared the interface twice. So if I run the application now, we can go now and try these functionalities that we implemented. We actually is good to register another user so that one makes the biddings and the other one can close them. So just a name and a password there. If we click on this listing here, let me just try to add a bid and submit it. And as you can see now, the new price for the bid, the new price that can be bidded is $37 now. So the AddBid method worked fine, worked very well. If we log in with the other user now, we see here that the owner can see who made the bidding and how much he made. So we see it there. And if we close the bidding now, so if the owner tries to close the biddings, the winner will appear on top there. As we can see here, what we wrote on top of the details page, the name of the winner will appear on the owner's page, but if the user has won the bidding, it will appear the line of congratulations, you are the winner. So this should appear on the other accounts page. So on Sean's account, if he opens the bidding, if he opens the listing, he should see that he is the winner. So if we try to log in with the Sean account, okay, we won't see anything here because we changed the index page so that it shows only the active listing. So the listing is not active anymore because now it is sold. So let me just comment this out here, that shows in our index page only active listings. I uncommented the wrong line there. We should uncomment the line where the user hasn't inputted something in the search bar. So this here. And actually, when we'll implement later on the my listings and my bids methods, the user will be able to see his own bids and his own listings in a separate tab. So we don't have to change it here. So this procedure that we're doing here won't be necessary then. Okay, so now if the user opens it, he sees that he won you are the winner. So Sean won the bidding. And so we have completed the 2 functionalities for this section. Make sure to watch the next video to see how to add comments to our auctions application.